Okay, so I want to get this out of my head while it's still relatively fresh. Last night I had a dream that I thought made kind of an interesting story. It wasn't entirely weird, in the same vein as the other dreams in this playlist, but it was still definitely a peculiar dream and one that I woke up feeling like, man, I kind of want to either make a video or write a short story about that. And so essentially, my dream was that if anyone knows the place or knows what it looks like, I was living back at my apartment in Michigan, except I was living there by myself. I was me, but I wasn't exactly the same me that I am now in the sense of I was like older and went by a different name and was essentially a different person, but still held a lot of the same resemblances of who I am right now. And essentially, I was living there alone, and I had a friend of mine who I knew I could trust. It was an older friend, somebody who I had known for a long time, who had garnered enough trust for me to let them hold, like, essentially, it wasn't really a book club. I didn't really know what it was in the dream, but they were holding these types of, like, very small gatherings while I was at work, or while I would be gone for most of the day. And like I said, I knew I could trust the guy. I didn't have anything valuable in the house for anyone to steal, or I didn't really have anything to lose in the context of the dream, so I let the person use my house without me being there while I was gone for hours at a time. And it would just be him. He'd have like another guy, a girl, and like I think one other girl, just like 3 or 4 people total who'd be there having their kind of like club meetings, and where everything seemed fine, genuine, and happy. And I would come back and I'd be like, yeah, how did it all go? And like I said, he's an older guy, so he's like super nice and very carefree and whatever have you, but always seemed just a little bit weird. Now, this one time I come back and I find something weird going on. Now, in the context of the dream, I don't remember what that weird thing was, but all I know is that all of a sudden things had kind of changed, and it was like, well, this isn't exactly normal. So I question the guy about it, and I find out that he's actually been having some type of cult, that he's been using my apartment as a gathering place to exercise and to practice this cultic, ritualistic gatherings. So I discover that, and basically it becomes a blackmail thing where they've been doing a lot of illegal activity in my property, so I have to let them continue doing this illegal activity at my property. I don't know what the illegal activity was, but it was something very just like dark, satanic, cultish, just like witchy stuff, just things that would be very complicated in my life if it all of a sudden came out to be, because I was technically now a part of it. I was harboring this, unknowingly, but still harboring it. So it came to the conclusion where I had to now make a decision of either, bring it to light and risk getting myself in a lot of trouble, or let them keep doing it. And I decided to play the middle ground, and I said I wouldn't let them do it, and I was going to figure out what was going on. I was going to take care of this. And then all of a sudden, my best friend kind of gets up, and he's getting ready to leave to go and basically tell the police that I was the one holding these cultic rituals and I was doing all this stuff. So he's about to essentially betray me and use my things. So what I do in this situation is in the dream, I pull out my gun and I hold them at gunpoint, and I'm like, you're not going anywhere. We're going to figure this out right now. We're going to find a middle ground. Basically, I'm trying to figure out how to get them out of here and to stop doing this, but while also maintaining my own safety, because obviously they're not sane. So if I kick them out and let them and not allow them to use my apartment as this gathering place for satanic rituals and essentially, then I know that I won't be safe because I live here alone and I do have my gun, but I'm not. They know where I live. They know my house better than me, and who knows what they've done while I'm not there. So now I'm in a bad situation. I'm holding him at gunpoint. I know I can't essentially let them leave for fear of they might come back and try to do something to me, or they might go to the police and turn me in for something I didn't do, for what they did, and they're all looking at me, and I know I don't want to have 3 dead bodies on my conscience, or obviously get in trouble with the law for killing 3 people and having to explain everything. So he goes to make a dash for the door, and I shoot him in the leg. Now I'm invested to the point where he can essentially, he has the power of, he's not trespassing because he has 2 other people to back up saying that he's been allowed in my house all this time and that I shot him in the leg for no reason. So now I'm getting in trouble. Essentially, if he goes to the police, now I'm again faced with an even deeper decision. Do I kill all 3 of them and try to get out of this and keep it a big dark secret of mine, or do I try to work it out in the eyes of the law? And that's where my dream ended. So there was no actual conclusion, and it ended with me shooting him in the leg and putting myself in an even deeper situation that he essentially put me in. that I allowed to happen, basically, under my nose. So that was a very weird cultic dream that I had, and I thought it would make a kind of an interesting short story, and who knows, maybe I'll look back on this and maybe I'll write it out. I don't know, but either way, copyright me as of the upload of this video. It's June something, June 20th, or June before then, who knows. So yeah, that's it. Thanks guys for watching. If you want to see other dream-related videos, check out the playlist in the description below, and I will see you in the next video. Later.